What up, folks? Happy Friday evening. It's your boy Chicago, the handsome liberal. Critical race theory and the China virus. What the hell are we going to be talking about tonight? As you know, critical race theory, widely unpopular on the right, being promoted by the left, why we shouldn't teach it in schools, why others think it should be in schools. But what the hell does the China virus have to do with this? We're going to make the correlation. Before we get into that, I'm going to, as always, go ahead and give me a subscription. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. Doesn't cost you a penny. Feel free to hit the bell so you know when I'm dropping these gems on you. At the end of the video, if you don't like what I got to say or what I had to say, I'm going to ask that you go ahead and hit the dislike button and drop a comment in the comment section. I'd like to talk to you and find out why. And if you like it, hit the like button. It won't hurt you. It doesn't cost you a penny. The China virus... and on the other hand, critical race theory. What the hell am I talking about? Well, as we know, critical race theory is widely unpopular. Like I mentioned earlier, coming from the right, we don't want this being taught in our schools. We don't want to be isolating students. We don't want to be shaming students that didn't have anything to do with something that happened hundreds of years ago. It's a totally legitimate argument. I can understand it. If you do teach critical race theory in schools and you teach the history of racism in America, the lengthy history of racism in America, and all of the atrocities committed while that was being implemented throughout America. We got to say at least from the founding of America, 1776, until the Civil Rights Act, which Martin Luther King was part of getting passed in 1964. So at least from 1776 to 1964, there's no denying that there was a lot of oppression, racism, slavery, Jim Crow, whatever you want to call it, going on. Now, obviously, America was functioning before it was completely officiated as a nation in 1776, and there is a lot before that. I would ask that you feel free to Google the 1619 Project. So slavery has been going on a long time in America before America became America. But we're not going to get into that shit. That's not why we're here. We're here to talk about these two items. So we do not want to teach this in schools because there are instances where white children have been beaten up and attacked by black children based on them being angry about things they heard that happened, back in the day. How their ancestors were treated by your ancestors and things like that. So particularly down in the South, I believe Tennessee just passed a law that is banning, or if not outlawing, the teaching of critical race theory in their schools throughout the state of Tennessee, and several other southern states are following suit if you listen to some of the senators and legislators in those states. So what's the issue? Well, I mean, I understand that. If my child was going to a school, I wouldn't want my child to be singled out based on a lesson that my child had nothing to do with. And we want to protect children, so maybe it might be the thought process of maybe this is too much for them to handle. Maybe they should learn it later in life. There's a host of theories on why we shouldn't teach critical race theory. So, where the hell does the China virus come in? Well, the reason I'm throwing the China virus in is because of the exact same theories that would apply to critical race theory also apply to the China virus. And what I mean by that is if you teach critical race theory, you can risk upsetting lots of people at white children and white people in general because of what happened. What happens if you teach the China virus? Think it might put some Chinese at risk? You think it probably already has? Of course it has. Throughout the Trump presidency, the moment he started doing that, there were Asians all over the United States saying that they were being targeted and people were pummeling them and stating that they were bringing a virus into the United States. So the reason I'm mentioning this is because it is very common to see the exact same people who are against critical race theory in favor of calling it the China virus. I had someone today tell me, and that's what inspired me to create this video. Well, he should have called it the China virus because that was something that needed to be said. And I asked him, when it comes to the history of what happened in America, you don't think that needs to be said? Well, yeah, but I don't want to put children at risk. Well, you do realize you're putting Asians at risk. Didn't seem to care as much. And that's why I'm bringing the videos, because when you hear people say that administration, or they want to say the right wing or conservatives or Republicans are racist, and the tendency is to say they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Think of things like what I just told you. If you have an issue and you can clearly see the problem and the dangers in teaching critical race theory, but you're cheering Trump on or someone on for saying the China virus because you don't give a shit what happens to the Chinese, how is that not racist? You care about white children and white people not being pummeled, attacked, or viewed negatively, but you don't care about the Chinese? I mean, even if you believe that China 100% fabricated a deadly illness and imposed it on the world deliberately, you'd have to admit that Chinese Americans living in this country had nothing to do with that. How are they any different than a child whose ancestors and great grandparents had slaves? That child has nothing to do with that. You can clearly see that, but you don't have an issue with the China virus and all of the turmoil that's being inflicted on the Chinese. So that's what I want to bring the video to you for, because I have right-wing viewers, and I have not talked to any Trump supporters that had a problem with Trump saying the China virus. In fact, when this was happening throughout Trump's term, and I was debating this with people, and you see it on Fox or CNN, or you see them tweeting it out, every Trump supporter that I know defended that. They were totally in favor of it. Hey, he's saying what needs to be said. He's not lying to people. He's not hiding the truth. They deserve it. They did this. How could you not see the danger in the China virus? And that's not just Trump, but you got Trump supporters like the Hodge twins. They're selling T-shirts and mugs with the China virus on it. But you see the dangers in teaching critical race theory, and you think this is okay. How is that not showing all types of double standards? And I would have to say it's racist. I mean, I would have to say, because you clearly don't give a shit what happens to the Chinese. But I just want to make a quick video. I didn't want this to go too long. I want to find out, how do you guys feel about that? You think I'm missing the mark completely on that? If so, like I said, hit the thumbs down and let me know why you're saying that in the comments. You think I'm hitting it? Think I'm hitting the bullseye? You think what I'm saying does make some sense? Give me a thumbs up. I did talk to a couple Trump supporters earlier today, and I raised this point, and slowly but surely, you can see the fog kind of clearing, and I did get a few people to finally admit, yeah, maybe the China virus was improperly worded, or maybe he shouldn't have said that. Yeah, but the damage is done already. You didn't have a problem when he was saying it while he was saying it, and like I said, it was Asians being attacked all over America. It was on the nightly news constantly. The Asians were begging Trump to stop saying this because they were taking so much turmoil from it. And that's just not, let's not only just go with the coronavirus or the China virus, as Trump would call it, and in critical race theory, let's also remember about September 11th. We didn't sugarcoat or downplay what happened with bin Laden on September 11th. You don't think Muslims paid a huge price? You know, Iranian Americans, Iraqi Americans, people living in America that were Muslim. If you had any form of Muslim garb on in America, I don't care if you were from Pakistan, Afghanistan, Tajikistan, or Iraq, or anywhere, you were a target. We were pissed off with Arabs of all types, even the ones that are our friends. We didn't give a shit. If you were from the Middle East, we were skeptical and suspect of you. But yet we didn't try to downplay what happened on September 11th. Can you imagine a Muslim parent showing up to the local school and suggesting that we don't teach children what happened on September 11th, let them find out later in life because it puts Muslim children at risk? We would have laughed her or him out of the school. So once again, this is why I'm saying the racial aspect of this does not look good, is because we want to put these blinders on or these protective covers on when it might cause, shaming or, a negative viewpoint towards a white child or the white people or white people in general. But all of these other groups, when they do something negative, we don't give a care in the world about making sure everybody in America knows what they did. We don't sugarcoat it. We don't wait till people are older in life. I mean, Trump is the president of the United States. He's on national TV. He's holding press conferences. He's yelling China virus all over the place. Children are hearing that if they watch Trump at any age. Nobody said, well, maybe we need to wait until the children get to be a little bit older before we start telling them the virus came from China. No, he deliberately created a special name just to target the Chinese because it's called coronavirus. It's called COVID-19. He calls it China virus. That's like saying Caucasian slavery. I'm just going to create a new term just to target this group of people. If you cannot see the double standard in being against critical race theory, but being for the China virus or for the proper teaching without any type of whitewashing of what happened on September 11th, if you cannot see the double standard in how we're treating these different things to protect white children versus leaving the Chinese and the Muslims out in the open, you can say, I guess you could say it's not racist. You can deny it all you want, but it's clear you care about one group and you don't give a shit about the other one. In the comments, I want to talk to you. Like I said, this is your time. Hit the dislike button. Say what the hell you got to say. But if you are feeling this, don't be shy. Get daddy some thumbs up. Once again, this is the boy Chicago. I'm going to cut the video right here. The Handsome Liberal. Talk to you on the next video.